things. And this is the new plate design. As you can see, I've got my little plate design up and running. It gives you all sorts of choices to work with. I've got the layout mirrored, so I'm on the left. That's what it looks like normally. I think it looks better mirrored. That's just my personal preference. You can edit your profile. Just like that. It just makes it look a bit nicer, like having that little bit of extra something. Now we go to the rising stars. And let's see what Tataru has to say about things. Hey Tatas! Tataru is putting on a pot of tea and looks in need of company. Elita, how lovely to see you! If you're not in too much of a rush, I was about to make a pot of tea. Would you like a cup? Take a seat then, and I'll find us something to nibble on as well.
It's so much quieter these days without everyone around. Not that I'm pining for your return, you understand. I have my sources, and I know that each and every one of you is doing well and keeping busy with your endeavors. Meanwhile, I'm left with a surplus of free time and the question of how to make the most of it. What about you? Any plans for the immediate future?
A grand new adventure, of course.
Traveling to the edge of existence and back wasn't enough? Well, if that's the case, I might have a suggestion for you. You've fought bravely and selflessly, helping those in need and saving our star from unimaginable threats. For your deeds, you've been hailed as the champion of Eorzea and a host of other incredible things. But why not put those titles aside for a while? Acquit yourself as a simple adventurer again, and travel the world in search of wonder.
That's a great idea, but where to start?
Oh, with so many exciting places to choose from, it's hard to narrow it down. but I believe I have the perfect destination in mind. Thavnair. That's where you should go next. I doubt you were able to squeeze in a proper tour of Radzat the last time you were there. What with the burning skies and rampaging monsters and so forth. And I'm sure Ritra would be pleased to see you.
I bet he would indeed.
Then there's the bounty itself. The Empire's presence in the region was always a deterrent to exploration. So if you've a mind to sail that sea, now's your chance. Just think of all the new experiences you could have.
Tell me, have you been to the ruins beneath the water? As the bearer of Azem's crystal, you may consider your duty to see at least that much.
Oh, I know that look. That's an adventurer ready to take on the world. In anticipation of an occasion like this, I was planning to gift you a new set of traveling clothes, but it's still a work in progress. Shouldn't take much longer now, though, so sit tight and I'll have the last few bits sewn up before you can finish another cup of tea.
The best tattoo.
Stitch in here and trim in there. Knot the threads with love and care. Just a little more to go. I'm sure you're still brimming with excitement. I am one with the needle. See how the fabric surrenders to my whims. Don't worry. I'll make sure the lining has plenty of pockets for all your little treasures. I swear adventurers are worse than children when it comes to hoarding every feather and leaf and animal hide they come across. Oh, we mustn't forget the waterproofing. Gods forbid you forget to disrobe before plunging into the sea, or a river, or a piping hot bath.
Oh dear.
Ah, you're awake.
I'm sorry for nodding off.
My apologies. I do get a little carried away with my sewing. You seem awfully cheerful. Pleasant dream? Or are you just looking forward to the next chapter of your grand saga? Either way, I promise to provide you with new apparel, and so I shall. If you'll accompany me to the Diamond Forge, we can put the finishing touches on your outfit. Shall we?
What have you got for me, Towers? Observe as the artist refines her piece into a masterpiece. And no napping this time. I need only a moment. You'll see. A little more room on the shoulders, open up the cuffs, a final adjustment to the hem. All done. Let's see how it looks on the mannequin. Well, what do you think? Doesn't it just scream ready for a bold new adventure? I'm so glad you approve. You've outdone yourself, Tattoo. Thank you. Oh, stop. You'll make me blush. If you really want to thank me, though, all I ask is that you wear this on your travels. Or at least anywhere where lots of adventures might gather. They'll look at you, a famous hero, and wonder, wherever did she purchase those stylish yet practical garments? And before you know it, hordes of new customers will be climbing over each other to place orders at Tatsuru Taro's boutique. Mwahaha! I can hear it now, the merry clink of gill overflowing from my covers. Sweet music to my ears. Ahem. Virgin merchant empires aside, you must be excited to start a fresh chapter of your life. New places to go, new people to meet. I often wonder how you remember all your experiences and exploits without taking at least a few notes. Oh, maybe you should start doing just that. You never know when some odd past detail might become relevant. Or if one day you take a blow to the head and forget the better part of the past decade. Something to keep in mind in any case. Though publicly known as the organization's receptionist, Tatu also serves as Science Coinkeeper, a role she executes as an enthusiastic cunning that borders on the terrifying. Born to Oldan merchants, the young Tatu had everything a Lalafell could ask for, until her family lost it all to bankruptcy. Plagued by debt and still smarting from this abrupt introduction into the harsh realities of the Sultanate, she apprenticed herself to a lapidary at the age of 12, and henceforth was supported by the household with her meagre earnings. It was during this period she met Minfilia, a miner come to sell gems and ore, who would later recruit Tatu to oversee the Path of the 12 finances. Tatu, in turn, resolved to use her newfound position not only to accrue personal wealth, but also to serve others. Indeed, when the Path of the 12 relocated to the Waking Sands, and her role was expanded to include secretarial duties, she used her considerable social acumen to build relationships and increase influence. As the organization slowly but surely grew to an association of like-minded and gifted souls, she was instrumental in seeking potential members blessed with the Echo. After the 7th Umbral Calamity, when the Path of the 12 merged with the Circle of Knowing to form the Scions of the 7th Dawn, Tatu continued her tenure as Secretary and Coinkeeper combined. When the political situation in Ulda drove the Scions from their headquarters for a time, she journeyed with Alphinaud and the Warrior of Light to Ishgard, that they might there regroup and rebuild the organization. Later she accompanied a contingent of the Scions to the Far East, where she established ties with East Alderney Trading Company's Kugani branch in order to fund local anti-imperial resistance efforts, one of her many laudable ventures on the Scions' behalf. Privately, Tatu has long regretted her inability to assist her comrades in martial endeavours, and thus sought to train as an arcanist. Alas, these efforts met with misfortune, including the escape of her carbuncle companion, and so she has since resolved to provide financial support through trades such as mining and weaving. In so doing, she has become something of a master artisan, going so far as to establish her own boutique in Old Charlian. Yet she always manages to find the time to fashion new outfits for her Scion friends when they stand poised upon the threshold of journeys anew. The Scions of the 7th Dawn. This secret society was a product of a merger between Circles of Knowing, led by Louis Sois Levier, and the Path of the 12, led by Minfilia Ward, following the 7th Umbral Calamity. Working in concert with the leaders of Eorzea, the Scions strove to address the myriad problems that plagued the realm, be it godlike primals, the imperialistic Garleans, or the scheming Ascians, beings who have long shaped history from the shadows. As a means to achieve its objectives, society sought out those blessed with the Echo, a mysterious power with myriad manifestations, most notable of which was the ability to walk in the memories of others. It was for this reason they extended an invitation to the Warrior of Light. On account of their contributions in dealing with several primals in the 14th Imperial Legion, the Scions' existence became public knowledge. Utilizing their newfound reputation, Alphinaud Levier founded the Crystal Braves, a military organization intended to pave the way for a unified Eorzea. However, the Society's archive activities had made it a target of a monstrous faction of Ulda, and an elaborate betrayal by Alphinaud's presumed allies resulted in the Scions being framed for the Sultana's assassination. Though branded fugitives and scattered for a time, they eventually learned of a plot within a plot that saw the monarch put into a deep slumber rather than slain, and succeeded in clearing their names. Their honour restored, the Scions went on and became key players in the liberation of Alamigo and Doma from their imperial rule. And after helping to avert the final days, they judged their mission fulfilled. So it was that they announced their disbandment, at least outwardly, and retreated from plain sight to labour in secret once more. Final days. This dreadful calamity befell the star in the distant past, when it was known as Aetheris. In that shining age, men had power to manifest anything at will, even living beings, and through this miraculous creation their civilization thrived. One day, however, following a keening sound from the land, their magics ran rampant, giving form to eldritch horrors born of fear and despair. Their blissful lives became a waking nightmare, and mankind was driven to the brink of extinction. The Convocation of 14, the people's chosen representatives, observed the phenomenon manifested where the celestial currents, the star's outermost flow of ether, had grown weak and stagnant. In order to address this deficiency, they summoned forth the mighty Zodiac to exert control over the laws of creation. Though this act demanded a high price, the sacrifice of half mankind's remaining number, the vast majority willingly rendered up their lives, and thus were the final days forestalled. Over the intervening millennia, the star-encompassing calamity had faded from memory, but faced with its second coming, as engineered by the Teleflorify, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn embarked on a desperate quest for the truth. At length they discovered an ancient named Hermes had created Meteon, a being capable of traversing the great expanse to ascertain the meaning of life by seeking out other civilizations in the universe. Alas, Meteon and her sisters found naught but despair, driving them to conclude life was suffering and death the sole mercy. Fleeing to the edge of existence, they became the Endsinger and proceeded to unleash the power of the Dynamis, an esoteric energy set in motion by feelings to usher all stars to their doom, that life need not continue in vain. Despite seemingly insurmountable odds, the Scions held fast to hope, and amidst the darkest despair, lit the way for their champion as they confronted the Endsinger at her nest. And at the end of a fierce battle they emerged triumphant, and put an end to the final days once and for all. The Unending Codex is now available under Collection in the Duty section of the main menu. Cool. There's even a little slit in the bit for my tail. Some purple. That clown is set for Tatsu's adventure. Yeah, that works well. Tatsu has some advice to share with you. As the former receptionist and sometimes intelligence gatherer of the Scions, allow me to offer you a word of advice. Do not expect juicy rumours to simply fall into your lap. Adventurers rely on gossip, and the best places to pick up information are taverns and markets. At present you have only a broad destination in mind. When you arrive in Thavnir, I suggest you explore your options at Meridian's Mahin, the finest drinking establishment at Razazan. Charm the employees, and they'll not only point you in the direction of local tale-tellers, but also share with you the tricks for loosening their tongues. Now, I really ought to get back to running my boutique. Enjoy the journey, Elita, and may fortune find you. Welcome to Meridian's Main. Oh, hello. I did not recognize you at first. Are you here alone? Let me find your table. Ruins beneath the bounty? Would you be speaking of the sunken treasure vault? We have one regular, a historian in fact, who could tell you all about it. Ah, there he is, Professor Jalhain. I thought I saw him come in. Although somewhat a private sort, the Professor is quick to befriend those who share his fondness for Mahin's unique beverages. Offer him any drink from our selection, and he should happily share everything he knows about the vault you seek, and a few other odd bits besides. Whatever you buy for him is on the house, by the way. If Mare had found out I took coin from Thavnir's savers, she would have me scrubbing pots for a week. Keep your purse strings tight, friend. We'll cover whatever you purchase for the Professor or yourself. Yes? And what may I do for you, my Ozian friend? Oh, just a friendly chat. How about a drink? Well, I certainly wouldn't say no to a drink freely offered. Here we are, one of Merredin's finest. Enjoy. Ah, lovely. Bottoms up. Jalheen empties a cup in a single pull. That was very kind of you, miss, but I know when I'm being softened up. What is it that you want from me? Oh, chasing down that old tale, are you? It does seem to appeal to the adventurous at heart. Now, where to begin? Might I assume you've heard of Alzadal? He was Khan of the Ori tribe which sailed to Thavnir from the mainland, and a key figure in the history of Razat-san. His decision to aid the Arkasoda is what ultimately won the war against the Gadusara, thus allowing our predecessors to lay the foundation for this thriving city-state. Truly fascinating stories, however, concern his grandson, Azadal III, who was known for his deeds as satrap in Razat-san's earlier days. Some attest that this man travelled to another world entirely, and returned with glitter and riches. Others that he brokered an alliance with certain worm of the first brood. Then there is the tale of the sunken vault, the one which you seem most curious about. According to this legend, Alzadal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of the bounty. There he built a structure reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep and secret storehouse, and locked all his worldly wealth within. In the centuries since, whenever a natural disaster or hardship befell Razat-san, folk would remember that tale of hidden treasure. Hardy souls would set out to claim their fortune, but precious few ever made it home. Would you like to hear more? Apologies, I have a slight tickle in my... Oh, my cup appears to be empty. My heel, another round for the Professor. Ah, I see we've reached an understanding. You're a sharp one, adventurer. Another for the Professor? Oh ho ho! Today was a splendid day to visit the Mayhem. Jalheen gulps down his newest drink with gusto. Where were we? Yes, those who did return from seeking the treasure vault refused. I mean, flatly refused to speak of what they saw. discourage others? Nay, quite the opposite. Such accounts only serve to feed the legend. And the golden lure grew stronger than ever before. That reminds me of something Azuma was saying. Azuma is a fellow connoisseur of spiritus potables. Potables, yes, he is. Anyway, he was saying that one of his acquaintances went after the treasure himself. Hasn't been seen since he last set sail, I hear, but he did have No, I can say no more. You seem a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest? If my words sent you to your death, I could never live with myself. I am no stranger to peril. Is that so? Perhaps it's your turn to tell a tale. What manner of dangers have you faced? The very edge of existence? From anyone else I'd struggle to believe it, but I recognize you now. You're the hero of the final days. A drink. I need another to settle my nerves. My heel, more of the same, if you please. As you wish, but this one is in your coin, Professor. Jalheen drains yet another cup dry. Anyway, you being who you are, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to share a little more. This friend of Azuma's, he was desperate to buy a treasure map, one which showed the way to the entrance of the vault. Shims, he could only get it from some merchant. What is his name? There, I forget. Let's drink a toast to you, my new best friend. My heel, more drinks! Be right with you. Your drink, sir. Ah, marvelous. Arched. Jalheen throws back yet another cup. Weren't we talking about Azuma? You want to know where the Azuma is? Around this time, he's other than that, often at the usual place. I think I've had one too many. The professor was able to help you, I hope. Yes, I am Azuma, and who might you be? All true, I'm afraid. My friend took a ship out in search for Azadal's legacy, and I've been watching for his sails ever since. I tried to dissuade him, of course, but he refused to listen. All he could talk about was finding that vault. And the look in his eyes. I knew it wasn't common gold or jewels he lusted after. He was hunting Azadal III's otherworldly hoard, and his ambition would not be denied. I see it in you too, that appetite for the mysterious and the unknown. But I'll not attempt to turn you from your path. I know too well the futility of that endeavour. So I will tell you what my friend told me. How he convinced a merchant in the bazaar to give him the rough location of the vault's entrance. It seems this merchant, one Zashal, I believe it, is selling a map which shows the exact route. But my friend's purse was too light for its exorbitant price. With what meagre wealth he had, he instead paid to learn that there are ruins on a small island somewhere in the bounty, and within those ruins lies the path to the vault deep below. If you truly intend on seeking Azadal's treasure, I suggest you put your affairs in order. I wish things were different, but I do not believe my friend is ever coming home. I'll see if I can bring him home.
Please, Ashal, please! You must let me have that treasure map!
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself. Can you spare us no kindness?
So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake? What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name. This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Azadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy?
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. It is. Discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Be glad I am no such king boy. Your scrawny-eyed had never returned with that treasure alive.
Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim? How I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map! Whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoard they stand to uncover.
I don't believe this for a word. No, Estinian, don't. Don't you dare purchase this, Estinian.
of you, sir? Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price?
No! What are you doing? You've been conned!
Well met, my friend. Someone is dressed for adventure. But why Favner of all places? Knowing you, I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping. Ruins beneath the Bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
With that sail, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
You needn't mind us.
And now I've fleeced one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure.
I never took you for a treasure hunter.
Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself. If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavnir what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove. Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant. Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent, whether the map leads us to the vault or not. You are coming along, yes?
Naturally.
thought as much. Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
You will recall I spoke of visiting Thavnir at Vitra's request. Well, he finally invited me to a feast, and made his proposal once I was too full of Hanish delight to refuse. He wishes me to train the Radiant Host in lance work. But that's a tale for another time. What we need now is a merchant or a trawler with a ship fit for the open seas. Matsiak is a fisherman by trade, yes? We should head to Ayakal and see if he can help us. I am hoping to hire a ship, of course, rather than buy this one. My funds would not stretch quite that far. My friends, what brings you to our humble village? So, you need a seaworthy vessel to seek these ruins? Considering it was your deeds which allowed us to return to fishing, I should think everyone would be glad for a chance to repay the favour. Wait here, and I will have a boat stocked and ready for you in no time at all. Why are you following us, child? Have you noticed our little child, a little shadow, He's been following us ever since we left the city. We see you there, boy. Show yourself. Ah, it is you. Do you know how far out of our way we walked so you'd not cross paths with some wild beast? I'm sorry, sir, but aren't you the heroes who saved Slavnir? You are. I know you are. And I've gone and cheated you. I work with Zashal, you see. The map merchant. It's my job to play the pleading orphan and convince the crowd his wares are worth the price he asks. I'm ashamed of what I've done and beg for your forgiveness. If not for you, my sister and I would never have, well, we'd be... Enough. I knew your game, and I paid the price willingly. A fortunate purchase, as it turns out, for my friend here was seeking those very ruins. You were kind to overlook the wrong I have done you. But there is more you need to know. The map you bought is very real, as is the island it shows. I overheard Zashal selling the information to another customer. He told that man where he needed to search, about the ruins, about the vault, about everything. Then the man sailed out to find his fortune, never to return. You cannot go alone to that place. You should have more friends with you, maybe even a whole army. I do not doubt the ruins hold danger, but I assure you, between the two of us, there is little we cannot overcome. Please, I cannot bear the thought of... We might need a hand moving the treasure. Assuming we find any. Still, it may prove wise to bring some companions along all the same. Any ideas of who to approach? The signs have scattered far and wide since our last gathering. Grahatia and Cryo. Aye, Cryo may have her hands full rebuilding the students, but if you reach out to Graha, he would surely leap at the invitation. Will that set your mind at ease? Yes, if that man is strong as you. Is he though? Strong, I mean? What is your name, boy? Mehrad, sir. Well, Mehrad, your life is yours to live as you will, but I suggest you find a more honest trade if you truly wish to keep your sister safe. I'm not proud of what I do, but what choice do I have? We need to eat, and everyone's too busy rebuilding their own lives to bother with two grubby orphans. Wait, boy. I didn't take this roundabout road just to see you end up in some creature's belly. Let me walk you back to the city gates. Thank you, sir. Call me Estinian. Estinian is... I think he is not as gruff as he makes out to be. Estinian is ready to escort Merad to safety. I shall leave you to recruit Graha. He'll appreciate the invitation that much more, I'm sure. As I recall, he was based at the Annex. Someone there thought ought to be able to point you in the right direction. Let us be off too, Merhad. Do me a favour and don't stray from the path. Oh, look who it is. Welcome back, Elita. What might the students do for you? Graha? Yes, he's in the main hall with Mrs. Cryle. They've been holed up in there for days. By all means, go and give them an excuse to take a break.
Ah, Urgica, my good man. Would you be so kind as to...
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
I wish you had sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
How's the restoration of the students coming along?
Slow and steady. Raha and I have been compiling old records of the students' activities. We located several accounts in the archives of Numenon and added them to the collection we recovered from the Isle of Val.
And judging by the progress we've made thus far, sorting this pile will keep us occupied for days to come. But what brings you to the Annex, my friend? Surely you haven't come all this way just to watch us shuffle dusty papers around?
the treasure vault of Alzadal III.
And you're looking for companions to join you on this expedition. I would dearly love to accompany you, of course, but I'm afraid I'm committed to another task. On the subject of which, I had hoped to ask for your assistance. Then again, it's not so urgent that it can't wait until you've returned. You should go, Raha. I'll stay here and mind the shop, as it were.
Are you sure? I'd hate to leave you short-handed.
I'm sure. Just try to be back before too many moons have passed.
Well, I guess we're off on another adventure already. Have you asked anyone else to come along? Then might I suggest we invite your Stola? Ever since the Scions disbanded, she spent most of her time cloistered within the Great Gooble Library, hoping to piece together a method to traverse the rift. It would seem, however, that whatever wisdom she sought there was not to be found. She arrived in Charlian the other day. We spoke briefly before she began her search of Numenon. Considering what you've told us of Alzadal's extraordinary feats, I do believe your Stola would be more than interested to hear what you have to say. Splendid! Then let us head to the archives at once.
Wait, before you go. I have another potential member to volunteer, if you've room to spare. Urianger. He sent the students a request for materials, you see. Treatises on the architecture of treasure vaults and the like. From what I can gather, the Loperites are looking to make improvements to their own creation and wish to learn more about how we build things down here. So, why not take Urianger with you? Let him study Alzadal's legacy firsthand.
None can deny the benefit of seeing something with your own eyes. If our expedition leader has no objections, I say we extend Urianger an invitation once we've spoken.
Safe travels, you two. But don't forget, I'd still like your help with that other matter I mentioned.
Right. Then it's off to the library.
When you finish with your treasure hunt, do come back and visit me. I think you'll be very interested in this request we've received. Well, she wasn't hard to find at least. Aww. Aww.
I've never known Y'shtola to doze off in the middle of research before.
I want to gently pet her.
Close my eyes for one moment. Ow! How long have you two been here?
We didn't want to wake you.
Nor did I want to fall asleep. I must have been studying for 2-3 days straight before exhaustion finally claimed me. As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library. So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds exists, and you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. So I promised Runar, but 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
You needn't be so hard on yourself. The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite. A daunting challenge and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
Indeed. Was there something else you wish to ask of me? Alzadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world. If those tales are true, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished. An invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries. As if I could refuse. And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
Achiali, by ship. But before that, we thought to extend an invitation to Urianger as well. He was in Thalmazane, last we heard.
Then by all means, let us recruit him, and be on our way.
I don't see Thancred anywhere. He was supposed to be traveling with Urianger. I visited Labyrinthos on several occasions recently, but I've never set foot in Thamazon since the day we boarded the Ragnarok.
Ah, our illustrious champion. Cloaked in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside in thy pursuit of simple adventure. I am told a new expedition is in the offing.
'Tis good to see you well.
And thee. As ever, thou art the picture of strength.
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed. Our travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loperids had been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum hath been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I return to offer mine own counsel.
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
Ah, you have learned of my predicament from Mistress Cryle. I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loperids now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts. Thus, with their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon. So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation. But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos? Fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity. I should be honored to accept thine invitation. How long hath it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
Aye. Though I cherish the Scion's accomplishments, 'tis pleasant to not have the weight of the world upon our shoulders for a change.
Counting Istinian, we number 5 now, yes? Without knowing what traps or perils await unwary feet, we may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
I agree. Between us, we should have the skills to handle whatever situation may arise. Shall we be on our way?
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
All is well, I trust?
A wasted trip, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to catch up with a former mentor while you parleyed with the rabbits, but it seems our paths were not to cross.
You're looking well.
That's because we didn't travel by experimental etherite. It's astounding what a lack of nausea does for one's sense of well-being. In any case, As we made our way around Ilzabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches. So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seemed fit to gather? Beneath the waters of the Bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loporrits.
Ah, of course. And if you have Estinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, 'tis best I sit this one out. Too many former scions consorting with one another might be seen as a cause for concern in certain quarters. I'll return to my usual reconnaissance and scout out the situation in the Far East. Feel free to share if you come across any interesting revelations. Till we meet again.
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what hath become of us.
Ah, the thrill of imminent adventure. I never tire of this feeling. Just imagine the possibilities. In my travels, I spied many a child wandering alone, orphans, in all likelihood. The homes raised by beasts and blasphemies could be rebuilt, the void left by those we have lost cannot so easily be filled. I will pray to Sanduvra for your safe return. May the wealth of her blessings guide you to the treasure you seek. I send you to recruit Graha and you return with an entire survey party. I hope Matsuya's bow is sturdy enough to carry us all. What he means is, we are grateful for the use of one of your precious fishing vessels. We are more than glad for the chance to provide it. I only ask that you take care to steer clear of the reefs and the shallows there. Aye, we will keep an eye out. And I will stop there for now because it is time for food.